out of you.
And I'm so happy that I got such a wonderful producer.
Yeah.
I like the plug.
So let me go move on to the producers. So you have these bunch of talented actors and a director. And I sort of there were a handful of team உங்களுக்கு இருக்குது. So how was it working? You know, like what do you had in mind? First time you must have heard the story. You said okay to it. And what were like you expecting? And இப்போ படம் பார்த்ததுக்கு அப்புறம் after watching the movie, how much you the expectations-க்கு கிடைச்ச ஒரு ரிசல்ட்டுக்கு உங்களுக்கு எவ்வளவு சார் நீங்க அதை கம்பேர் பண்ணீங்க?
Well, now actually listening to them talk now, so I'm a little startled because the movie I saw was very different. So these are very different people here.
Well, started in a good way, right?
In a very good way.
Yeah,
In a very good way. It just
good
goes to show what brilliant actors they are.
Yeah,
Because the movie we've
absolutely.
seen is totally different from all the tirtira and all of that stuff.
Should we be worried about that?
No, not at all.
You got your payment check, right?
Yeah.
No, not yet. That
Not yet. Ayyo, now we'll change the narration. இத முன்னாடியே சொல்ல மாட்டீங்களா?
Please ask me. I have to talk a little bit more about my
producers, right? Yeah, we'll come to that. Yes. Go ahead.
But actually, so we met with Ranjit like a couple of years back. Then Aditi came on board and we set out to make this movie. We'd obviously heard of Mari Selvaraj, everyone knows him, seen his movies, all of that. So yeah, we were like quite taken in with this story, what he thought he wanted to make. We of course had to read English translations of the script.
Yeah.
So you know, there's a lot lost in translation. And but still we got a fair enough gist of what he was going for. We thought it was a great story. The great cast being assembled, everything was wonderful. Ranjit has done work, Mari has done work. So there's honestly all the boxes tick off. There's not so much to worry about in that sense. And then they set up, they went and did it. Aditi and her team have done an amazing job, actually producing this film, all these stories that you all have, and I'm sure there are many more. We've heard all sorts of anecdotes from them while it was being made. I think a couple of months back, we came to Chennai to see the first cut, as in Mari's cut. So we came to the office to see it. And honestly, whatever we had thought of this movie, whatever we had imagined of this movie, whatever we possibly, we'd heard the songs, we'd seen stuff, all of that. But, and you will see it when you see it, is that it's quite, it's quite a leap of faith. It's quite it's an explosion actually. It's literally an explosion of a creative mind whose imagination is really running riot. And this character, Dhurv, as she said, that it's on his slender shoulders, which become pretty huge by the end of the movie. As he builds himself up. So it's a terrific picture, and we are really pleased the way it's turned out. This is our second Tamil movie.
Yeah.
And this is our first big one. First time we worked with somebody like Ranjit and Mari. So yeah, we are like all thumbs up, and we can't wait for this Diwali. Can't wait for this Diwali.
Yes, you've had a successful run with your first Tamil movie also, so I'm sure this is going to continue with your second one as well.
I hope so.
And you've produced a lot of Hindi movies. Now that there's no boundaries for Indian films, like there's no regional boundaries have been blurring out. And see, for example, you Applause Entertainment, we've heard so much about you. We've heard you doing such brilliant films and series in Hindi. Now that you're in Tamil and you're giving us very good content. So how do you feel about this whole blurring of the boundaries of the regional content?
I think there's no, first of all, I don't like the word regional. So I've always had a problem. I'm a South Indian myself, so I've been in Bombay all my life, but I don't think there's anything like regional. There are all languages and,
Yeah, different languages. Right?
And the good thing that's happened actually in recent times is because of streaming, it's broken down these boundaries. Originally we used to have a Hindi channel and a Malayalam channel and a Tamil channel, and if a Tamil movie releases and everyone is talking about it in Bombay, you've got to go and see it in that one theater. Then maybe get a DVD, it was so difficult.
It was difficult to
Now it's like, what's this movie, where is it? It's on Netflix. It's pretty as simple as that. So I think that's wonderful. The other thing is that the amount of international content that we are consuming, hopefully the world will consume our content, because it's also, people are getting used to reading the subtitle and watching the content. Everyone's getting used to that. It's becoming now commonplace.
Yeah.
And I think that will allow us, like the whole world saw Narcos. Indians saw Narcos. Everyone raves about Narcos. We got no business doing that, right? We don't know anything about Mexico or Pablo Escobar or anything of the kind. but we love it. You know, everyone's talking about adolescents, they're talking about Squid Game. So in the same way, I think all of Indian content can travel. I suppose the only thing we got to do is we got to make it better. We got to make it better and better. And I think the opportunity is there. It's here
Do
and
you
now.
think it gets better the more rooted it is?
I think it's always, that's the golden rule actually, that everyone keeps
You
talking
believe by
about,
itself?
can you make Can you make content that travels? There's no such thing as content that travels. It's always content that's deeply rooted and succeeds in its home market. And if it succeeds in its home market, sometimes, if you have good fortune, good destiny, all of those things as well, it travels. Sometimes.
Yeah.
Which is why even international content, only few things travel. We don't see every single piece of it.
Yeah, absolutely true. And Sona Madri, the subtitles, it's a boon because, you know, even for us to watch an Hindi film, like being a proper South Indian, Hindi films, so many times there's something about that movie we loved so much. Like, for example, an old Shah Rukh Sir's movie. We find it so difficult because we don't understand, but still we want to watch because it is SRK, the king. And then we have some North Indian friend sitting beside us and like, hey, Nachi, what's happening? What's happening? Now we don't have that, and that consumption, you know, with no boundaries makes us so happy. And Sona Madri, all over the world. We have no business in the Mexican world, but then we are right in between, right in the middle of it. That's such a nice thing, and I think it's only going to strengthen the.
I think it is. And I think we are also, because of the exposure we've had and because of all the stuff that we are doing, all these young actors who've come up and, you know, they've grown up in a different generation. You know, like when I was speaking to Mari, there was this very interesting thing he said. So like he said that when he was about 15 years old during Diwali, and this movie is coming during Diwali, it's an important part in his life, and he said that he never really liked Diwali because he could never buy crackers and and burn them, and so he used to go and spend the entire Diwali day in the movie theater watching movies back to back. So I was just trying to figure out that, okay, how old is Mari, and so when he was doing this, what was I doing, kind of thing. So 25 years ago, while he was doing this, I was making KBC. Right? So when you were talking about, you know, the contrast of lives and worlds and all of that, it is true. It is true. You know, that we are all such different people and yet we are all the same. And everyone has a story to tell, and there are such amazing stories to be told.
Yeah.
And what you need is to tell it with that purity, which I think is something he brings to this.
That he does.
This
he
thing,
does
you
it
know,
very
like,
easily, I guess.
You know, I mean, when you look at these people and you see the movie, they are like, they've gone like serious rustic on this one.
Yeah, they're so far away from Tirunelveli, but yet so rooted to Tirunelveli. I think that's the craft of the captain of the ship, right? That's so nice. Marisa, thank you. And coming to Aditi, hi.
Save the best for last.
You always wanted to be a producer?
No, I didn't want to be a producer at all. I just, I wanted to make films, but I didn't
What
know.
do you wanted to be first, if I may ask?
I wanted to join the army.
Okay. Now you understand why she's so strict?
But I was very bad at science.
Okay.
And at that point, you could only join the army in the technical corps. So
Yeah, go through that.
and if I had done science,
lobby.
then I would have failed school altogether. And I actually wanted to be a director, and I directed a short film. And that turned out looking very much like a Punjabi adult film. So I realized that that's definitely not a good future for me.
இவங்களோட காசு தான் எப்படின்னு பார்த்தா இவங்க ப்ரொடியூசர் எப்படி தாங்க இருக்காங்க நான் என்னங்க பண்ணுவேன்
No, I thought it would be very poetic and lyrical and, you know, like very deep and poignant, but it wasn't. It was. So I knew that I wanted to be in films, and I needed to find somebody who had a visual language that I loved
yours.
and had a kind of cinematic soulmate, I guess. And I didn't find that person for a very long time until I met Ranjit sir.
Yeah.
And I had seen his film Kala, and there was a scene kind of right at the end of Kala which is the scene with the colors, the powder colors, with
And
the
Superstar
black
walks
and then
in.
the little like spot of red and then the blue. And actually it told the history of Indian politics in that one, you know, basically a song sequence. And it was so powerful, and I, you know, by that time in Bombay, we had started having some conversations which were like, okay, can you change this name to make it a more neutral character? Can you change, okay, instead of like a, you know, like a political organization in this film, can it be given a name of a social organ? You know, it was like sort of like certain subtleties that had started coming in. It was very frustrating for me. I had just worked on this film. I had just made this film called The Extraordinary Journey of the Fakir. It had not done very well in India. It had done well internationally. I was looking for something to keep me in films, and I saw Kala. And I called Ranjit sir. I actually sent him a message saying, you know, I really loved your film, and I never do it. I never cold message people, and he was the first one. And I said, look, I loved your film. I was really inspired by it, and if you find yourself in Bombay ever, I'd love to meet you for a coffee. And he texted back in like 30 seconds saying, I'm here.
Oh, wow.
So let's meet. So I feel like, you know, there was some serendipity in that. And we met, and I found a filmmaker who I could talk about politics with, who was very nuanced. He doesn't have this idea of like you don't have to be one person to be Ranjit sir's friend. You can be many people and still be able to find common ground, and it's very rare for me. And it was friendship actually that brought me to Chennai. And then at IFFI Goa, Pariyaram Perumal was playing, and I had gone to meet Ranjit sir. You know, he produced the film, so we went to see the film together. The film started like 3 hours late, and a lot of the Hindi audiences had no idea they had left. But the theatre was full, it was packed with people, and the second that Ranjit sir entered, it erupted. And I have never seen that for a director. And then I saw the film, it was a stunning film. It was just a stunning film. Even now, when I think of that last scene, I get goosebumps.
Yeah.
And I was walking back to their hotel, Ranjit sir on one side, Mari sir on one side. And actually, Bison was born then on the dark streets of Goa. When I said to Ranjit sir that, okay, let's do something together. And we decided to do 5 films together, small films. At that point, Mari sir had only made Pariyaram Perumal. Then COVID happened. Then I was actually driving from Bombay to Delhi because it was the middle of COVID, and our adoption for our son had just come through. Somewhere where we were crossing into the Rajasthan border, Dhanush sir called me and said, can I borrow your director? So then he made Karnan. And then after that, of course, there was Mamanan, and then there was Van. And I think that there's a reason that all of that happened, because I don't think we would have met Applause. We wouldn't have been there, and they've been, I say this with all sincerity, and I'm not saying it because he's sitting next to me, but they really are a unique company in India right now. And I mean, it's been such a pleasure working with Applause. It really, like, I don't say this frequently, and I mean it from my heart. So I believe that the film also needed partners like that. And the other thing is that Mari sir kept telling me, I kept saying, when are we going to do this, when are we going to do this, when are we going to do this? And he kept saying, I can't shoot till I can't have Dhurv acting as a kabaddi player. He has to be a kabaddi player. Because when we shoot, we will not choreograph. We will play kabaddi. And you know, there's some BTS stuff that I've seen that no one else has seen. And the chemistry between Dhurv and Mari sir is so electric, it's so crackling. And when you get that kind of connection between the creator and his creation, you really do get something special. You really do. And you'll see that in the film, you'll see those moments. And the thing with Mari sir is that he makes big films, but his films are made up of small, very intimate moments. Like, he'll find the smallest place to, and this film made me think of myself as a child to my parents and made me think of myself as a parent to my child, which is a very profound feeling that I've had. So I have wept through both screenings that I saw. And it's just that, you know, all of us, if you meet us outside of a promotional scenario, we'll tell you very personal stories about this film, and each of us has that connection, you know. In fact, many people have asked me, how was your journey? How's your journey? How's it like working with Mari sir and all that? I never had an answer. Now I have an answer. It was gada 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 gada. It was gada 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 gada. All of us, we were all there.
Proud of you, yeah. Good, yeah. You got something.
I've become meme material.
But yeah, I mean, look, the films that are hard to make are the most special films, and this is one of those films.
Definitely. When you guys speak about it, you know, kind of we can sense it, feel it, that you know you guys have really put your blood and sweat and heart and soul, everything into it.
Yeah, one day the applause team came to set, and you know, we were sitting and we saw Dhurv jogging towards us, and when he got close, you know, his knee was busted. He had some like tape on his ankles. His fingers were broken. So I can understand why Dhurv can't answer that question, because you put yourself so deeply into that. You can't be expected to have this bird's eye view and give a, you know, clever. You just can't do it. When you have become that, and it will take him time to remove himself from it. It's a once in a lifetime kind of transformation.
That's nice. That's very nice. Okay, now that இவ்வளோ அழகாக அவங்க சொல்லியிருக்காங்க உங்கள் ப்ரொடியூசர், ஸோ மேபி now that you've said you can't have a bird's eye view about this film, all of you guys. So if I ask you a simple question like, if you have to write a love letter to Bison, the film, how much do you love Bison, the film?
A lot.
Mine will be a 7-part book series. I have that much.
We'll call it gada gada gada.
Oh, the name of the book will be Gada Gada Gada.
Yeah, I love this film so much. I love everybody who has worked in this film so much. And I don't say it because I have to say it. And I don't say it very often about all my other films. But this film has done something to me very personally. எப்படி அது தமிழ் எப்படி சொல்கிறதுன்னு எனக்கு புரியாது. ஏன்னா அது இட்ஸ் கைண்ட் ஆஃப் லைக், see, none of us play us in a film. Right. ஒரு கேரக்டர், அந்த கேரக்டருக்கு ஒரு ஜேர்னி இருக்குது, ஒரு ஹிஸ்ட்ரி இருக்குது. யூ லிசன் டு த டிரெக்டர், யூ கிவ் இட். And once that film is done, you leave the character there, you say tata bye bye and you go. Rarely do you feel like when you leave, you're leaving a part of you back. And then you're like, but you don't want that part with you also. In the sense, you just want to leave it.
Okay.
Yeah, like I want to leave a bit of me in Tirunelveli where we shot in that uru, and let it stay there forever, a part of my soul. And I will not miss that part of my soul because I know it's very happy there. It's that kind of feeling with
I
this
understand
film.
what that is, yes.
Yeah, so and because it's not just me, okay? When I speak for everyone. In the படத்தில் work பண்ணா, right from the junior artist, which is most of us ஊர் மக்கள், and then from every technician, we have all gone through something so special. And I'm very sure why Aditi is able to weep rendu vaati after seeing the film, or Sami sir, or anybody who's watched the film, very few people who have, is feeling this way is because we have actually given a part of our soul to the film. And this film deserves nothing less.
What do you have to say, Dhruv? If I just have to say, how much do you love Bison?
Bison. Bison is like, it's like my, சொல்ல போனோன்னா என் மருமக ஆரியா பிறக்கும்போது இதுக்கான ப்ராக்டிஸ் ஆரம்பித்தேன். இப்போ அவளே பயங்கரமாக பேசி வளர்ந்துட்டான். ஸோ எனக்கு அவள் பிறக்கிறதுக்கு முன்னாடியே பைசன் பற்றி தெரியும். பைசனை லவ் பண்ண ஆரம்பிச்சிட்டேன். ஸோ ஐ டோன்ட் நோ. அதுனா நீங்கள் அதான் எனக்கு
வார்த்தைகளில் போட முடியாது அது.
ஆமாம், நான் அது சொல்லும் போது கூட கொஞ்சம் ஓவராக இருக்குன்ற மாதிரி நிறைய பேருக்கு தோணலாம். ஆனால் இந்த படம் ரிலீஸ் ஆகும்போது ஐ ஹோப் அண்ட் ப்ரே தட் என்னை இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் நல்லா புரிஞ்சுப்பாங்க. இப்போ நான் சொல்ல முடியாத ஒரு சுச்சுவேஷனில் இருக்கேன்ல, அது வந்து அவங்க புரிஞ்சுப்பாங்கன்னு நான் வேண்டிக்கிறேன்.
கண்டிப்பா யூ கைஸ் ஹவ் புட் so much of truth into it இல்ல. அப்போ அந்த உண்மைக்குன்னு எப்பவுமே ஒரு வேல்யூ இருக்கும். அந்த the truth will என்ன சொல்றது would attract all the goodness and it always has a value. நீங்கள் சொல்கிறது எவ்வளோ தூரம் உண்மையோ அவ்வளோ தூரம் கண்டிப்பாக மக்கள் இந்த படத்தை பார்த்துட்டு திரும்ப இந்த இன்டர்வியூ பார்க்கும்போது மேபி தே வில் அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட் ஈவன் பெட்டர் யூனோ வை இட்ஸ் லைக் அ ஸ்வீட் ஸ்பாட். இட் ஹர்ட்ஸ் ஆல்சோ அண்ட் தேர் இஸ் லவ் ஆல்சோ. இட்ஸ் ரெண்டுமே நடக்குது, ரைட்? ஸோ ஐ கேன் டோட்லி அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட் வாட் யூ கைஸ் ஆர் கோயிங் த்ரூ. தட்ஸ் ஸோ நைஸ்.